Welcome. It's Wednesday, 7 p.m. Pacific time. This is the weekly group coaching session. My name's Greg Nelson. This is the Hard Knock State. We're a counseling and coaching and training company out here in the Pacific Northwest, specializing in helping sales professionals and retail commission sales achieve higher levels in their career and achieve a long lasting, profitable career working in a retail commission field. Last week, we talked about step number one in my four-step process to getting whatever you want out of life, whatever goal you want to achieve, whatever big dream you're trying to chase down. We covered the first step, which was identifying what that goal or what that dream is, or how many of them there are, and which one is worthy enough for us and big enough for us to go ahead and tackle or chase down. The second step is committing to that goal and dream and developing no limit thinking. We need to develop a thinking of abundance and not a thinking of lack or scarcity. And so, if you want to join these weekly group coaching sessions, please go to thehardknockstate.com. You could start off for as little as $97 a month, and we'd love to see you there. But committing to your goals and dreams and developing a no limit thinking. First of all, I think it's really important that we understand what the word commitment actually means. Well, defined in the Merriam-Webster dictionary, commitment defined, number one, is an agreement or pledge to do something in the future. B, it's a something pledged. C, a state of being obligated emotionally. Okay. And number two, an act to committing to charge or trust, such as one, consignment to a penal or mental institution, and two, an act of referring a matter of legislation committee. Well, we're focusing on number one here on this one, and it's really an agreement or a pledge to do something in the future. So whatever that big goal is, whatever that dream we're trying to chase down in life, we've identified what it is, and now we need to make an agreement or pledge to ourselves that we are going to achieve that in the future. And once we do that and we create the state of being obligated to that commitment, that dream, or that goal emotionally, that's when the real thought then becomes more of a burning desire that we're actually going to get it done. Because when we can make the commitment to ourselves, we're making the commitment to others in the future as well. Why we need to commit? By committing to our goals and our dreams, we're setting brand new standards. We're developing discipline, willpower, and mental toughness. We're creating a wall or a barrier between where we are planning to go and where we've been in the past. We're making a promise to ourselves that we are no longer going to settle or justify that there's a lack of something, and that's the reason why we can't go after what it is we want. A real commitment is making the decision that goals and dreams are worthy enough that it will achieve the goal or the dream, or will make it come true. And we're not going to stop until we get it. We're just going to put our foot down. We're going to draw the line in the sand. We're not going backwards. We're going forward toward what it is that we want to achieve. So the Hard Knock State Grit Formula. This, I think, is more important. Having this type of mentality, this grit style mentality, this is so important for us to be able to persevere, especially when our goals and our dreams are big, they're massive. Okay, and we're not talking goals or dreams the size of you being able to, or us being able to save a few $1,000s and going off and financing or leasing a really nice luxury vehicle. We're talking about goals and dreams that are big enough to benefit us, benefit our family around us to where we could be a benefit to other people and help other people out in our community, uh, or even larger than that. So the definition of grit in this case or this sense is the firmness of mind or spirit, unyielding courage in the face of hardship or danger. So our hard knock state formula to develop grit is a persistence times resilience equals grit. When we stick to our commitment, we become focused. We become focused on that goal or that idea, that dream we're trying to chase down. We live life with a purpose. Once we become focused and we have something we're trying to attain, we have something to look forward to wake up to every single morning when we get out of bed. We take pride in what we do. We make sure that along the way, we're closing the gap between what it is we want and where we're at, and we're closing those things we need to get done in order for us to move forward in the future. uh, we start believing in ourselves because we start seeing little successes along the way. So when we're going off and we're so focused on going after that goal or that dream, we start stumbling across these little successes. Things just start lining up for us because we're focused on exactly what it is that we're looking for. The reality is, we haven't been looking for it in the past. It's always been there. We just haven't seen it because we haven't been looking for it. Uh, we stop being a victim to circumstance. So I think this is really important because those limiting beliefs that we have, when we were talking last week about picking out that goal and that idea, and then automatically we tell ourselves, "Oh, we can't do it," and that's not really something that I could actually do in my lifetime, or whatever that is, and what they really are is they're things that we were told when we were little kids, and our parents were told that when they were little kids by their parents. And things like, come on now, let's be realistic. We need to think of a real career in life. Whatever it is, like money doesn't grow on trees, whatever those little things are. And then we have this idea, and then automatically we tell ourselves, our inner self talk, we tell ourselves that this can't be done. But the reality is it can be done. And but what happens is, time after time again, maybe we've taken a couple risks in the past that we thought were going to be good business ventures, or something that we thought might be a good career change for us. So we've taken that jump, or we've taken that step, and it just didn't work out. And we went back to what we're used to doing. Hey, I got to tell you, I've been there myself, but we can't be a victim to that circumstance. We can't let that stop us from moving forward and doing exactly what it is that we want to do, or achieve that goal that we're trying to achieve, that dream we're trying to chase down. But so often we these little voices, they're all, hey, we're victims, and then we start pointing the blame and the finger at other reasons and circumstances that are stopping us from going and being able to get those things done. So when we stick and we focus, we stick to our commitment and we focus on it, we stop those types of excuses, because we all of a sudden will start gradually thinking about ways on how we can get it done, what the solution is. We become leaders and trailblazers, and we're setting off a path that nobody in our family has ever done before. Whatever that dream is, maybe they have done it, maybe somebody somewhere along the way did it, but this is something that is unique to you. It's your own personal dream. It's your own personal goal. Maybe you have many of these goals, and I'm sure many of us have more than one goal. Maybe this is your first time working with goal creation and goal commitment, and maybe you've just kind of been going, gosh, living in the wish state, and saying, every time, oh, see a car drive, oh man, it would be cool if I have that, but you don't really know what car it is you want, or which house you want to live in, or what area you want to live in. But you just know you want more, and you want more than what you have now. You just don't know how to go about and lay it all out and structure a way and find a game plan, create a game plan on how to go get it. But this way, when we stick to our commitment, we're setting off into that path. We're laying down the groundwork of what it is that we're trying to go after. And we do become a trailblazer. We become a trailblazer of our own path and our own circumstances moving forward, our own decisions that we're going to be making in the future. Because you're going to, if it's a big goal, if it's a big, wild, crazy dream, trust me, the circumstances are going to be big, wild, and crazy. And the obstacles you're going to have to get through are going to be exactly the same. And so we will need to become a leader, because hey, look, even if you're not starting your own business, if you're not in working for a business, and maybe you're a stay-at-home mother or father, or and your spouse goes out into an office, but you're in charge of everything that has to do with running the household and taking care of the children, and you have a idea of where you want to see your family in a certain amount of period of time, and it's not where you're at now, and you need to maybe push your husband a little bit more, and get the kids in line, or get everybody on board with this game plan on how you guys are going to move forward, and again, be able to benefit yourself, be able to benefit your family, and then be able to be a benefit to those in your community and those around you. So, you have to be a leader. You have to be the CEO, even if you're not a business. And we find ways to work through and work around tough and sticky situations. So when we stick to our commitment and we're focused on our commitment, we find these ways to where we can work through and work around. We go through the mud, we go through the thick of it. Maybe we get rejected and have to go find different angles and different avenues and workarounds on how we're going to get the people in line with us to see our side, our point of view, see our ideas and what it is we want to achieve that will allow us to be a benefit to other people. And so it could be these tough, sticky situations. Could be you're trying to open up a business, and maybe you need to get certain licenses for that business in order to open, and you have deadlines with vendors that you've already talked to and you've already agreed to line up, and all the paperwork doesn't look like it's going to be working out in your benefit or your future, but you need to have everything lined up in order for you to open your doors and start making money and generating not only income, but also generating your business, getting your name out there, marketing yourself, and everything. So these all are tough, sticky situations, and you're going to go through this over and over and over again, and you're going to have to find ways to get through and be successful in order to move your company forward. So how long do we make the commitment? Well, I love this quote. This is by John Canary, and he said this in Bob Proctor's You Were Born Rich seminar. And he says, excellence is a commitment to completion. So how long is your commitment? Well, until the job is done. If you want it to be excellent, you need everything to come through on time, and you want it all the way you've envisioned it to be, then you need to see it all the way through to the end. So excellence is a commitment to completion. And I keep that saying in the forefront of my mind all the time. And whenever I'm working with a client, a guest, and I want to earn their business and make them a customer, when I'm working with coaching clients on developing them and their skills, everything I do, excellence is a commitment to completion. And so we make the commitment until the goal is achieved or you've made your dream come true. If your dream will take decades or even a lifetime to complete, commit to it until it's done. And so, hey, look, think about Elon Musk and think about his dream of us going to Mars and colonizing Mars. Uh, at his age, his dream is going to be have to be carried on past his generation if we don't get up to Mars, soon. So that is making a lifelong commitment to a massively big dream that he is chasing down, right? And so you're no different. And with commitment comes a deeper sense of self-worth. It comes with satisfaction in tasks completed. You get the personal satisfaction that you've completed these small little tasks along the way every day to go after and commit towards your goals and your dreams. You get help from others because those around you will start to take notice in your new drive, your new focus, and they'll want to assist you in help achieving your goals or your dreams. Maybe they know of somebody and then all of a sudden taking notice in you and seeing a change in you and seeing your attitude is different and you have this kind of intense inner drive that they could just see it radiating off of you and see it in the fire in your eyes. And they take notice. They go, "Hey, man, what's new with you? You seem a little bit more focused, than normal." And you tell them what's going on, and they're like, "Hey, it's funny. I never thought of this in the past, but I know a person," and maybe they help line you up to talk to the right person who's going to help get you further in achieving what it is you're trying to get done. It gives you confidence. Okay, with the commitment to achieving your goal or chasing down that dream, it gives you confidence in knowing that you have to take matters into your own hands in order for this to get done. And with that, you'll learn to get control. You get control because it's your dream, it's your goals, you're the boss of it, you're the CEO, the founder, and it's up to you and nobody else. And with your commitment, also deep commitment, creativity will come through. And so maybe you've hit a roadblock. The first place I would look when we hit a roadblock when trying to tackle our dreams or our goals, almost the very first place I would ever look is at our commitment level toward that dream or that goal, because that commitment level alone and how deep rooted that commitment is will have a direct effect on your creative thinking and being able to get around those tough, sticky situations that we have to face. And then also with commitment comes increased actions taken. And so because, hey, if we got this deep rooted commitment to this dream or this goal, hey, we're not going to just sit down on our, and do nothing about it. We're going to take action toward it because, hey, the more action you take, and we'll talk about this in another coaching session, but the more action you take, it becomes a multiplier to being able to achieve your dream or your goals. So, hey, committing to your goals and your dreams, hey, even those who won the lottery, they made a commitment to buy the ticket. And without making the commitment to achieving your goals and making your dreams come true, your ideas will remain a wish. And if you don't act upon that wish soon enough, that wish is going to revert right back to becoming a thought. And shortly we'll be swept under the rug with all the other great ideas we once had. And, if you are of a middle age, 30s, 40s, 50s, if you're of that middle age, I guarantee you've had more than one great idea that you didn't act on. Maybe you told it to somebody else, they acted upon it, or maybe the word got out, and then all of a sudden your dream or your goal somebody else had. And so now you swept that underneath the rug, or maybe you just didn't act on it at all and nobody's acted on it. You completely forgot about it, but time went by, life happens, life circumstances happen to us all. We have, we get married, we have kids, and then we go work our regular job to make pay the bills and make the ends meet. Well, whatever it is, we have had these great thoughts, these great ideas. We've wanted to take these just amazing trips, first class, and sometimes we've had the opportunity to do it, but we have not acted on it. But nothing great was ever achieved without commitment. So and that is the absolute truth and the reality to this whole second step is nothing great was ever achieved without a person's deep rooted commitment to achieving that. So think of highly successful people and think of highly successful companies. Where would they be at now had they listened to naysayers and critics and didn't have a commitment or a game plan laid out, and if they were a business, they were going to do everything in their power. What if they had listened to uh, uh, everybody else who said, hey, look, I think you ought to do this with your business. I think you ought to do that with your business. I think you should do this and start diversifying into this category. These businesses, these big name businesses that of, the highly successful ones, they would not be in the position they are today had they had done that. And so they had a game plan that was laid out. They had a big idea. They committed to that idea. They laid that game plan out and they took action on that and they repeated the process. And they did not let anything or anyone take them or veer them off course until they got what they wanted to get done. Think of Costco, think of Walmart, think of the way that if you've been around business, you've heard of the way they buy products and services from vendors to sell to their in-store and online customers. From everything that I've read, it is shrewd, and I know firsthand because I have my father was in corporate sales, and he would have to sell to both Walmart and Costco. So I know firsthand how challenging it is just to get your foot in the door, and then remain to have your product into their stores. It is very challenging. So they would not have those companies, Walmart and Costco, if they let other people dictate on how they buy their products and services, and they just went willy-nilly and started listening to everybody's crazy ideas and agreeing to everything. They would not be in the position they are today. They would be Chapter 11 bankruptcy. They'd be doors locked, people on the employment lines looking for work. And that goes the same for successful individuals. Okay, they have a game plan. They stick to that game plan. They commit to it. They have a focus like nothing else, laser beam type focus towards the end result of what it is that they're trying to get done, and they don't let anybody veer them off course. So it's your time. Why not you, and why not now? Really, why not you? Why not now? Again, those little voices are going to be coming up and saying, "Hey, I can't do that. That's not me. I'm not good enough to tackle that." But the reality is you are, and why not? Let's talk about no limit thinking. Okay, this is the difference between you and the wealthy is the amount of money they have in their bank account and how they think. And the highly successful don't think in terms of lack and shortages. They don't think in terms of being a victim, who did them wrong or what have, oh my gosh, I'd be a lot further in life if Joe back from 15 years ago didn't stab me in the back, take that position from me. No, absolutely not. They take the lumps on their head. They go through it's the hard knock state, right? They go through it. Okay. They get the lumps on their head. They learn their lessons and they move forward. It's like a hammer and an anvil. And so you got to think like that. Okay. Just because you have a setback doesn't mean that you can't get it done in the future. There is no lack. If we get this really just beaten into our heads that there's no lack and there's no shortages. And really, when you're thinking about your goals and your dreams, you can't let these little thoughts creep into your mind. You got to be completely aware. We'll get to that in a minute, but of these thoughts and these ideas that are going to be these little negatives, these little negative naysayers that are going to start attacking us. We got to be able to control that, because the highly successful, they do not think in terms of lack and shortages. They know that there's enough money on this planet to go around, and abundance is everywhere. The difference is we're programmed to think small. Okay, if nobody in our family has ever been wealthy or has ever been famous or has ever been, led a big company or corporation or been high up into management and sat on the chair of a big company or corporation, and just been middle class or or poor or in between, we're always programmed to think small. We're always programmed to go to the store and make a decision on the price of the toothpaste that we're buying versus the product that we're buying. And we're always looking around at the gas station prices where we could save 3 cents on a gallon of gas. But the wealthy don't think like that, and the highly successful, they don't think like that. They know their time is more important than the money itself. And saving $1.10 on a gallon of gas, or $2 on a gallon of gas, their time is worth a lot more driving around looking for that one that how to save a buck. But we're told money doesn't grow on trees. We're told to be realistic. We're told to come back down to earth, right? And we're not told over and over again. Something happened by the time when we grew out of infancy and grew out of being a toddler and started getting into school and started taking risks and listening to other people and parents and family advisors that once told us, yeah, you can go off and be an astronaut, you can go be a scientist, you can go do whatever it is you want to do. Somewhere along the way, we were told to be realistic. We were told to come back down to earth and told to, hey, focus on a real career. Many of us were, at least. So what is limit? Limit, defined in the context that we're talking about, is something that bounds, restrains, or confines. And so when we're born and we throughout infancy, we did not know of limits. Babies don't know of limits. Okay, they don't know what boundaries are. They're always just evolving, growing. Everything's new and adventurous to them. They don't know that they can't go and try to do something. They put their feet in their mouth. They put their just the crazy thing, if you have kids or seen little babies, they just absolutely just are magnificent, right? Just their eyes are just radiant, with just full of joy and innocence and no limit thinking. That is no limit thinking. But limits and boundaries were set in place as we got older and we evolved and we started growing up. They were set in place there to protect us and to keep us safe, keep us out of harm. And we were told limiting things by those who love and cared for us. It was never meant to hold us back in life. It never was. It was never meant to hold us back in life. It was only there to protect us and to keep us safe. But typically these ideas were passed down from generation to generation. And what do I mean by that? Well, hey, if you're of my age in your mid 40s, early 50s, maybe even young 40s, your parents, their parents went through the Great Depression. And your parents were probably born right about that time during the Great Depression. If you're in your 50s or 60s, you probably grew up during that period of time. Well, those ideas of everything when the economy was just that bad, there was lack. There was true lack, and there was true people doing without, people having to split up their families. It was awful. It was an awful time. But that sacrifice, that sort of those survival skills, and those comments, those little phrases, those little, hey, be careful, hey, we don't want you to get hurt, don't take risks. We just need to make it through. Those ideas are passed down to your parents, and your parents just automatically, without even thinking, because that's the knowledge that they had, they passed it down to you, and now that's stuck with you. It was formed in us about the age of 8. If you have listened to me in the past and been a part of these coaching sessions, you know that these ideas, these are our code of, our personal code of ethics. This is our upbringing, and it's formed in us before we even reach the age of 10, and it's very hard to break. So limiting beliefs, and these are statements you may have heard of, and you may, things like this. Money doesn't grow on trees. It takes money to make money. No one in our family has ever done that before. I once knew a guy who tried something like that. And, let's be realistic now. Hey, can't you just be happy? Hey, be careful. Don't burn out. You don't want to burn the candle at both ends. Hey, why would you want to do that? These little things, these are just generic responses that we hear all the time. Or, hey, how about, oh my gosh, I knew a guy about 20 years ago, super successful in his career, decided he was going to go off and open his own company, and he spent all his money. He mortgaged his house, and then it just all fell apart. His wife divorced him. The guy's living in this a mobile fifth wheel now. Just, can you believe it? You don't want to do something like that, right? You hear these stories from other people of somebody who they once knew who almost lost everything. So what? I mean, there's possibilities that anything could go wrong. But we hear them repetitively over and over and over and over again throughout life. And then that holds us back. So simply put, no limit thinking simply puts, don't put any limits on your goals or your dreams. You got to think of the possibilities. You got to assume the best, and and think that there is no shortage or lack. Hey, when you're going to go out, again, this no shortage or lack, I keep saying this over and over again, but all that limiting talk stems from shortage and lack. And so we really have to understand that there is no shortage or lack. Have you heard about there's a couple things going around about the farming and the ranching and how we're over-tilling, and I don't know if you follow that at all, but I've also heard other reports, that as Americans, we throw away more than half the food that we produce. And so if you think about no shortage or lack, you have to you have to kind of think in abundance in everything. Okay, abundance in everything. And as you start thinking in abundance of everything, the way you've been thinking, and these little naysaying comments, they start getting smaller and soon fade away. And so understanding that if you have the idea for the goal or the dream, it can come true. You can get it done. If this idea keeps surfacing back up throughout the day, and you've been thinking about it throughout a week, throughout a month, throughout maybe 6 months or a year, and you just can't get rid of this idea you have, you need to act on that idea because it can be done. Understanding that if somebody else has achieved a similar goal or a similar idea or has accomplished ran down a similar dream, if somebody has done something similar, it can be done. Think about the 4 minute mile. Uh, you know, Nobody ever said you could run a 4 minute mile till it was ran. And then once it was ran, everybody else started running the 4 minute mile. So knowing that there will always be a solution, even if it means that it's going to take a long time to find it. And statistics are meant for average producers and those who are happy with the status quo. Again, going back to the 4 minute mile, statistics, they said it couldn't be done. All the doctors said our legs weren't built for it. We couldn't, there's no way, it's not possible. We didn't have the endurance, the stamina, the ligamentation to run it. And then it was ran, and then everybody else started doing it. Statistics are meant for the average. We have to have faith and believe that even though we don't see a way now, it will appear. And so even if you can't wrap your head around, maybe your goal in a dream is a monetary amount that you want to have 10 years from now, and it's massive. And you can't wrap your head, oh, where am I going to start? Just have the faith and believe in that there will be a way. And a way will eventually start to appear. Now, will it appear all at once? Who knows? You may go buy a winning lotto ticket and win the lotto. You don't know. But typically, from everything I've found, is that these ways of how they appear, they come to us small pieces at a time. And we figure it out. We go through it. And we go through the tough and the sticky situations because we're taking action. And we have this laser beam focus on the end result of this goal or this dream that we're chasing down. We need to change the way we think. And so commitment to your goals and your dreams and having no limit thinking all comes from needing to change the way we think. The normal way, the way we normally think is called our mindset. Changing our mindset isn't always easy. We've been thinking one way our entire life, and we're programmed to act and think a certain way. Only by being aware of our thoughts can real change take place. So we have this great idea one night. We're sitting down, we're talking to our spouse, and you know what? Oh my gosh, we're sitting, watching TV. Oh my gosh, wouldn't it be cool if we did something like that? Or wouldn't it be cool if we were able to take 6 months off and go live take this 5-star vacation, first class, all the way, on the other side of the world. And we were able to do it, not, have to make sacrifices on oh yeah, honey, that'd be great. Right. And then the next day you wake up and you go through your regular normal routine, you go to work, you come home, and you don't think about it again because you tell yourself it can't be done. Okay. So, but being aware of those thoughts and those ideas and actually maybe taking it a step further and looking into what it actually would take and starting to break down the math and the money of what it would actually take for you to go off and do that. And how would you go off and do that? And then you start planning it out, mapping it out. And then you start developing this game plan and you set that as your course. And then you attack and you go toward it. And you guys work your butt off and you keep bringing it up because this is what we're doing. You commit to it. And then you develop the no limit thinking that it's going to get done. And you put an end date to it. And then that is the goal or the dream you're trying to chase down. But what happens is, again, we're programmed to act and think a certain way, and only by being aware of our thoughts can change take place. Repetition is the key to change. When we're aware and we catch ourselves in the moment of a negative or limiting thought or self-talk, all we need to do is say stop, and replace, and tell ourselves stop and replace that thought of one of victory. Place that with the image of the goal, that the end result of that goal or that dream. Just take, boom, see the picture in your mind, right? And use your imagination if you need to. And I know we think that's so silly as grown adults, imagination, right? But the reality is that is where we envision our future, envision the success we're going to have once that goal or that dream is going to take place. Hey, when that happens, when you chase down that dream and it happens, who are the people around you? What type of atmosphere? Are they happy for you? Are they high-fiving you, giving you hugs? What's going on? What's in the background? Are there, mountains in the background? Are there beaches, mansions? What is it? Whatever it is, you replace that negative, immediately replace that negative self thought, that negative limiting thought, or that little self doubt, or that little negative comment, and immediately say stop, catch yourself, and replace it with that little vision. Whatever limiting thing we're saying to ourselves, rephrase it. Take "I can't do that" and turn it into "I can do that." And it's just, this is what we have to do: repetition on all this, the way we talk to ourselves, the way we think. Repeat this until our self-talk changes and we're constantly focusing on the positive vision of our goal achievement and what life would be like when our dreams come true. Hey, if it took you a long time, your whole life, to think the way you've been thinking right now, these actions have been repeated again and again and again, over and over. And so it's time to start repeating new no limit thinking and no limit self talk. And so replace "I can't" with "I can." And have laser beam focus. Committing to achieving your goals or making your dreams come true, and changing our limited thinking and stopping our limiting self talk will allow us to have laser beam focus on what it is we want. A laser beam is precise, and it can hit its target from very far distances, from far away. You got think tunnel vision. Okay, the thoroughbred horses, race horses, wear side blinders when they're running down the track for a reason. And that's so they can only see the target ahead. They can't turn their head. They're not distracted by the other horses side to side. That's going to take them off course from winning the race. And so we need to think like that. We need to have that kind of tunnel vision, that kind of laser beam focus toward the goal or that we're trying to achieve, or that dream we're trying to chase down. And so you got to see the result, the end result of your goal or your dream coming true. Aim your sights high on that target and fire. Okay, have a focus so tight like a laser beam that it can cut through any distraction and negative thought and talk that can knock you off course. You'll need both commitment and a no limit mindset to succeed. When we make a commitment that there will be no turning back from our goals or our dreams, replacing our limiting thoughts and negative self-talk with that of victory and success, and repeat it until it becomes a new habit, then we will have developed a new no limit mindset. And that's the reality. When it's done so repetitively that we don't even think about it anymore, and those little negative thoughts and negative self-talk, when that naysaying self-talk, when those things, they start fading away, and you keep replacing it and doing it over and over again, and then pretty soon they don't come up again, and you automatically start thinking of ways you can find a solution to those problems, those tough, sticky situations you're trying to get through. This new commitment and no limit thinking will allow us to have laser beam focus on our goals and dreams like never before. Because now we know nothing is going to stop us, even if it takes a lifetime for us to get it. So remember the amygdala. And if you tuned in last week, we talked about the amygdala. And what is it? It's an almond-shaped cluster of nuclei that live near our brain's central memory bank, and that would be the hippocampus. It works with our fight or flight system. It attempts to compare current situations with past memories to dictate emotions of how you're going to experience during what you're going through. So if you've had a similar situation in the past that brought you joy, it pulls that situation from past experience from your hippocampus, that memory file, and it compares it to what you're currently going through in a like that. And it can make us act in irrational ways. It could throw our body and really even physically make us act in irrational ways. So if you've experienced joy in a situation that you're currently going up against, maybe you're going through a dating situation and you went and you met this wonderful, you had a blind date and it went great last time. Well, you're going to walk into the same situation with that similar type of expectation because it's happened in the past. But the same thing goes for when things don't work out for us or haven't worked out for us in the past. And so your amygdala is going to pull that file from your memory bank, and it's going to compare it. And you may maybe in the past it caused you to freeze up. You freeze up. Maybe it caused aggression. Maybe it caused you to hit the door and start running, or maybe it caused you to dive in and tackle it like it was no big thing. It was no skin off your back. It was just something you had to do. Well, yeah, typically we'll start feeling that. We'll start having those emotions rush to us. And again, it will dump more of those little negative thoughts and negative self-talk, those little naysaying, limiting, doubting self-talk. It'll rush that through our brain, and we got to figure out what's going on. So when you're faced in that situation and you feel that a freak out is coming, just take a second and think about the amygdala. Think about what this little portion of what we're talking about here, and then take a deep breath if you have to, and just think and act logically. Now, chances are the outcome that you from your past experience, it won't be the same as what you're going to go through now, and there is a chance it could be, but then there's a chance that anything could happen, right? But the reality is most of the time we don't even get to the point to push through that fear that because the amygdala has stopped us, and we've just turned around and went back to old habits and old ways of living, and we didn't even get to actually take the risk. It just remained an idea. And so getting our head right is the first step, the first thing. Okay, so tackling any situation will require having the right attitude. And attitude is the result of our current mindset. Everyone has a different starting point. It's starting that counts. So no matter who's watching this, we're all at a different starting point. If we're all trying to figure out, hey, what's this? How are we actually? Is this guy, this 4-step system? How are we going to take our ideas and make it real? And in the chat and in the group, John over here might be highly successful now, and he's trying to get to a new level. But Barbara over here, she's higher up than me, and I just feel like I'm behind everybody, and not only in life but everything. Well, everybody has a different starting point, and we're all unique, and it's the starting that counts. It's the starting that you're going to go after this goal, that dream, and make this commitment, and just keep focusing on that end result of what you want, and be aware of all the thoughts, and be aware of the inner self-talk, and just catch yourself in that moment. Tell yourself to stop and replace it with the vision and the thought, and start rephrasing the way we're talking. Take "I can't," turn it into "I can," and just forge through and start focusing on that. We were told. So you got to understand, it may take some people longer to develop than other people. Some people may have had just maybe have had come from parents or upbringings that were just thought the way these concepts are laid out here, what we're talking about right now. And so they were raised with the no limit thinking mentality. So them going out and venturing off and taking a new risk, that's second nature to them, and they may achieve success a lot sooner, a lot quicker than you and I could do it. Because of the way we were raised in our upbringing. But starting is what matters. And so you were told as a kid that you could be whatever you want to be. Somewhere along the way, we let life circumstances and the fact that we can't do it or that we're not good enough, and we let that beat us down and over and over and over again. And so maybe we've tried to get ahead in the company we're working for. Maybe we've tried to go off and start our own company. Maybe we've done that plus taken other risks in life, financial risks in life. Maybe the risks we took weren't financial. Maybe they were adventurous, and we failed at it. It just didn't work out. And we just kind of gave up. Because we've done it in the past. We got rejected. Must not be for me. Must not be in my destiny, right? We tell ourselves those little, that inner self-talk, and and then we get this other idea. We try it, and we fail again, and we go back. Oh well, gosh, it's not just. I guess I'm just not the lucky one. It's in my DNA. Nobody in my family's ever been successful. Gosh, can't get that. And then we just, time and time and time again, we get beat with this. Well, we got to really stop, and we got to really think about what we're doing to our mental state, what we're doing to us. Look, we need to advance, and we need to move forward. We need to set big goals. We need to have no limit thinking. Set big, crazy goals. It's your life too. And the reality is that you could achieve big size goals and chase down amazing dreams, but you got to get your head right first. So go to thehardknockstate.com, reach out to me. If you got comments or questions, look, you don't know where to start, just sign up for a free 15-minute strategy session consultation, and we'll sit down, we'll identify your blocks, we'll figure out how we can set you up with the right tools to make you successful, to get you back on path. If you're in sales, we'll identify what's going on, whether it's your attitude, your mindset, whether it's mental, whether it's you're missing steps along the way, and we'll figure out which would be the right coaching session for you, the right product for you. And look, you can join this weekly group coaching session. You could join it. It's via Zoom, and we're streaming live right now through YouTube. $97 a month for a 1-month program. You could do a 1-month, 3-month, or 6-month program. And there is one personal one-on-one coaching as well. And so we are here to take care of all of your needs. Look, this 4-step system I came up with, it was about 7, maybe now closer to 8 years ago. And I was laying in a hospital bed of a treatment facility. It was an inpatient thing, and had a pretty bad addiction that I needed to break. And anyway, I had all my whole life, I had been an entrepreneurial individual, and not only an entrepreneur, but one who liked working for other people as well. And so I worked in a few different fields, few different industries. Uh, and I started my first businesses when I was 13 years old, and then moved on from there. So over about 35 years of business experience and 20 years in direct retail commission sales, I've learned some things and trained from some of the best people out there. And I got to tell you, if you're in sales, or you're thinking about making the jump from a salary or hourly career or position over to a full-time commission position, and sell a big ticket item, or maybe you just sell a medium ticket item, but the volume is so high, and you would be extremely good at it. You know that product very well, and you think you're good talking to people, and but maybe you're worried about your own capabilities, and worried about your family, and if you're going to be able to make that jump, or what your family is going to be thinking about you. Maybe it is a mental thing. Well, let's figure out what it is that's stopping you, and let my coaching help you to make that transition to where you can jump into a new career in commission sales, and you can hit the ground running. Now, maybe you're in sales right now. Maybe you're in automotive sales or something similar, stove and spa or appliances or furniture. And maybe you've been doing it for, a couple of years now, but you haven't really seen the success that, one, you could achieve, and two, the success that, others are having. And you're trying to figure it out. You just can't seem to find a way. Well, hey, let's sit down. Let's work it out. Because I guarantee you, we can take you, and we could help you sell more, sell consistently, and earn more on each sale, and do it in a way that is repeatable and duplicatable. And once you learn this skill, you can write your own ticket anywhere. You can create mastery in being a sales professional, and once that happens, you can take your skill, your job, and you can go into any city, any state, and you can sell that product that you're mastered at, and you can do it anytime, anywhere, and find success in it. And once you do that, that right there is being a master at your trade. And sales is a trade. But hey, look, even if you're not in sales, or maybe you do something completely different, and this whole idea of being able to achieve a dream or a goal, and figuring out and learning an actual process of how to go about in doing that, maybe that's important to you, and you really, maybe you're just kind of stuck where you're at right now. Well, again, if you want to figure out whether it's one-on-one coaching that's going to get you through, or whether it's weekly group coaching, schedule a 15-minute free consultation, and let's chat about it, and let's get you on track. Because I got to tell you, this 4-step system that I figured out, I grew up, and throughout those 35 years of being in business, I've gone and I've listened to a lot of webinars and seminars on goal achievement, and how to go out and sell more myself, and read a ton of books, and been certified. Not only am I certified coach, but also certified through other programs as well. And I got to, I'm a fully employed sales professional myself, so I practice exactly what I preach. And all of, sometimes just talking to somebody and working through what it is you're going through, and knowing that person goes through the same thing, and it figures a way through it, and knows a proven path and a proven system, then you can achieve any dream you want to achieve. because the reality is that you could take these 4 steps and you could apply it anywhere. You could apply it to sales, you could apply it to running a household, running a business, you could apply it to wanting to become a known actor, a known musician, artist, get your product out there, and you, whatever that goal or that dream is, you can get it. And so when I was laying in this hospital bed, all these pieces from these seminars that I was reading or had gone to in these books, I started thinking about what's the one thing they all had in common. And I broke down what it is and I categorized them. And then I found out that it all came down to 4 things. And then I arranged those 4 things into a process, into a step system. And that's what I started using that immediately, and my life started changing. I started changing my mindset. I started creating a no limit thinking mindset. I started setting goals, and I started making a commitment to those goals, and I started having laser beam focus. And next week we'll start talking about writing your goals down and committing your goals and your dreams to a writing habit. And there's a way to go about doing that that works like magic. So, hey, join me next week. Go to thehardknockstate.com and sign up for the weekly group coaching. Look, $97. You could start 1 month. You'll get 4 sessions out of that for $97. Look, that's still to this day, I think that's if you drive a truck, that's about a gallon of gas right there. But look, that is that $97 just to sign up for weekly group coaching that can benefit you and your family and make your life amazing. 4 sessions, 90 days, or 30 days of that. You'll go through 30 days. You'll spend $97 on little stuff, impulse buying items, little things, tips, eating out at restaurants, drive-throughs, convenience stores. You'll easily spend $97 without even knowing it, realizing it. And this is a proven system to where you can jump in. You can identify what it is that you want to get done. You can live life with a purpose. You can create a new way of thinking, a new mindset, and you can start achieving real goals and real dreams in your life. So thehardknockstate.com. Again, if you don't know where to start, let's hook up a free 15-minute phone consultation. If you just want to jump in, take a minimal financial risk, and jump into some group coaching, $97 a month. Hey, thank you. This has been committing to your goals and your dreams and developing a no limit thinking mindset. Well, I appreciate it. And for those of you on Zoom, hang tight. We'll answer your questions and help you through what we learned today.